welcome to All Indiana Bets. I'm your host, Danielle McConnell, along with Jason Hammer and Scott Long. It's week 3 of college football. We're going to break all those games down and win you some money.
So on the season, my best bet is 3-0. Now, if my Beech Grove High School education is correct, I think that's pretty good. We're also rolling in the Degenerate Special. I've got a best bet and a degenerate pick coming up for you today.
Hey, I am Scott Long. I was 4-1 in the NFL. Let's not talk about college. But today we will, and we're going to bring winners right now, right here.
This is All Indiana Bets.
Well, are you counting 0?
I count 0.
Okay, I didn't
because
count
the question
0.
is this week 3 or is this week 4?
I call it week 3. 0, 1, 2, 3.
0 should not count.
0, 1, 2, 3.
All I know is the best bet is rolling. We're undefeated, we're cooking, we're making so much money on this program. And man, today's slate, I don't know about you guys, not a real good-looking slate of games today.
Last week wasn't either,
No.
and it was amazing college football. So what really makes college football extra special in these games that are maybe not great? Gambling! That's
Yes.
what we do!
That's where we come in.
We are going to tell you how a game of 27-point difference in the spread can be amazing. You'll be gripping in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So that's what we do here, and we drink. Let's do it, Danielle.
You guys do definitely drink, so let's start. We'll begin in South Bend. Oh, where the honeymoon phase is officially over for Marcus Freeman. Freeman is now 0-3 as Notre Dame's head coach after last Saturday's stunning loss to 20-point underdog Marshall. They thought Matthew McConaughey showed up. To make matters worse, during the loss, quarterback Tyler Buckner suffered a shoulder injury that will likely keep him out for the rest of the season. Notre Dame's projected win total for the year now sits at just 7. So Scott, can this season be salvaged, or are the Fighting Irish fans ready for a fall?
You know, at the start of the year, I said, hey, don't get too cocky about Notre Dame. I know everyone loved Marcus Freeman because you listen to him, like in an interview, awesome guy, great energy. Brian Kelly is like he was like the heat miser, running around, the whole time. But Brian Kelly can coach. He'll turn LSU around. He's just learning the system and I do not think you give a guy who's never coached on a head coaching level the #1 most focused position in college football. I don't like 7 is the best they're going to do. I would not bet the over on that. It really comes down to a couple games. North Carolina probably. And USC is not the team that they were winning against anymore.
No.
All of a sudden, today, I can't even tell you they're going to win today.
And the thing with Notre Dame is they've become boring.
Yeah.
It's early in the season and they've become an afterthought. Like, I'm more excited to watch the Purdue and Syracuse game than I am Notre Dame and Cal today. And if you're one of the storied programs of college football with a head coach in his early stages, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Notre Dame needs to win today. And again, backup quarterback is in, but I really don't think that's going to be that much of a deal breaker because the offense has looked horrible to this point already. So can the season be saved? Yes, you're going to have to beat North Carolina. You're going to have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Maybe they get a mulligan, first year, new coach, down quarterback, but the wheels could fall off pretty quickly if Notre Dame struggles today.
Okay, well, you saw how tough the remaining schedule is. So it starts today against the California Golden Bears. Notre Dame is an 11-point favorite. Scott, do you like Fighting Irish today?
No, I lean the Cal Bears in that situation. I just see Tommy Rees is the offensive coordinator. They're not bringing him up. He's another guy that looks like he'd be on the cover of Tiger Beat, not the coaching establishment. I need a fat guy.
Do they still make Tiger Beat? Is that still around?
Yeah, they brought it back for him. So no, I like the Bears.
This isn't a game that I'm in love with. It's not something I've got an official play on here. I'm leaning Cal on this one too, just because I think it's too many points.
Yeah.
I could see Notre Dame getting out to a 7-0 lead, a 14-0 lead. You hear the fight song, you feel good. Maybe the ship has been righted, but you get that garbage time last drive touchdown by Cal, and you go home a loser if you're a Notre Dame backer. It's too many points. Again, not a game that I'm in love with, but I would lean Cal with the points on this one.
Okay, I think we've beat up enough on the Irish, so let's move to the first picks. Scott, first picks.
My first pick is, what is that team called? USTA. What is that?
UTSA.
No, it's UTSA. University of Texas, San Antonio. Who were they last year? They were 12-2, weren't they, Hammer?
They were.
Were they a degenerate special?
They were one of the stars of the degenerate
yes.
special last year.
And in the coach Jeff Traylor's time there, they are 7-0 in September as just a winner. Now they aren't playing Texas. This is as much because I think their talent level is high. I think Texas is going to be flat after the Alabama game. And most importantly, Texas still has the coach who is married to the stripper pole lady who had an emotional support monkey,
yes,
who bit kids at
yes,
Halloween, who's my favorite person ever in the history of this show, emotional support monkey. Point is, take UTSA and take it to the bank.
That was an amazing journey to get the pick right there. We had biting, we had monkeys,
yes,
we had stripper poles.
Yes.
We went through the gamut right there.
Yes.
So then what do you have to follow that up?
can't
with
top
your
that.
I can't top that.
No.
I don't have any support animals in this pick.
You can figure one out, right?
SMU is on the road at Maryland today. Maryland hosting SMU. Boy, punts are going to be few and in between in this game. This should be an offensive show. The over-under is set incredibly high in this one. It's over 70, so it kind of scared me away. But I think the wrong team is favorite here. Maryland is a 2.5-point home favorite. SMU has the better quarterback. I know Tua's brother, the other Tagovailoa brother, is the quarterback of Maryland, but the better quarterback is with SMU. This was the kid that was at Oklahoma State a number of years ago, made the switch, and he's got a history of going on the road and beating power conference teams. Give me SMU. Sprinkle that money line, but take the 2.5 right here. SMU, give me the ponies. Let's go.
Okay, and if you still want to get in on all the action, there is a QR code that will show up right
Where's
in the
it
corner
at?
of your screen.
Where's it at? There it is. Boom.
Oh, there
Look at
it is.
that. There it
Make
is.
sure you scan that QR code. We've got 2 picks down. Still plenty more to come. I'll let you in on a little secret, though.
Oh, all right.
That QR code plus what Hammer and Scott are drinking today.
Oh.
So, more to come on All Indiana Bets. Welcome back. It's 11:11. Make a wish on Wish TV. Do you guys ever do that?
Oh, it's good luck.
11-11?
I believe in the gambling
Okay.
gods. I believe in the mojo. This is our day. We are going to hit every single pick, and if you don't, well, we didn't tell you to pick them.
I know.
Okay, we're going to shift our focus now to the Big Ten and a couple of the non-conference games involving local teams in a segment we like to call Feelin' or Fadin' It.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, whoa,
my
whoa.
God.
Look at that.
It's official now. Guys, explain Feelin' or Fadin' It since we're so official.
How many people were fired so we can get those note cards in that say all
Maybe
Indiana
one,
bets?
Maybe one.
Okay, all right. Feeling it or fading it. If you feel it, that means you like it. You're feeling good about it. If you're fading it is a popular gambling term where you just completely go against it. There's not a chance in Hades that you want to hitch your wagon to it. Feeling it or fading it.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Now we get to the game show part.
Okay.
So, first up, we're less than an hour away to kick off between Syracuse and Purdue at the Carrier Dome.
Thank you.
In upstate New York.
The Carrier Dome. I don't care what it's called now.
Yep.
It's the Carrier Dome.
I didn't even know that they changed that name. This game is basically kind of a coin flip, although they just added a half point. So the Boilers are listed at a +1.5 underdogs. Are you feeling it or fading it to win? Scott, you first.
Locally in media, people think if you're, you don't say something nice about Purdue, you're about IU.
Right.
And if you don't like something about IU, you're rooting for Purdue. It just happens that way. Anthony Calhoun went to Syracuse.
Yes, he did.
He will be in
The franchise.
rooting for Syracuse against your Boilers, and you will be correct. I like the Boilers in this situation. Do I love them in it? No, but I feel like it's going to be just on the turf, indoors, up and down. I think this is a kind of a Jeff Brom game. But Syracuse has been much better than I expected, so it should be a great game. I look forward to watching it. I would feel the Boilers.
You're feeling the Boilers. You're getting the points. Okay.
Yes, I would.
Listen, first and foremost, it's always going to be Deer Creek. It's always going to be the Hoosier Dome, and it will always be the Carrier Dome.
Okay.
That's where this game is at.
Facts.
I am kind of feeling Syracuse in this one, but it's not because I'm fading Purdue. Again, this is a great game. I just want to watch this game. You've got two good quarterbacks. I think you're going to see some offense here. But on the road, late, which coach is going to have the better clock management? From what I've seen from the Purdue Boilermakers, it ain't them. So in a close situation, give me the team that's one at home and number two can run the clock a little bit better. I'm feeling Syracuse in this one.
Okay, so next, this game also kicks off at the top of the hour. Indiana playing host to Western Kentucky. The Hoosiers are laying at a +7 now. That's up from 6.5 against the Hilltoppers here. Scott, are you feeling it or fading it?
I am feeling that the Hoosiers will win the game, but much like last year, I think it's going to be a war to get there. I love the points with the Hilltoppers, so I'm fading the spread. Take the Hilltoppers with the spread, not an official play, but wow, I think Indiana should be very happy they're 2-0. They can get to 3-0, then the real season begins.
So I've got an official play on this one. This was one of the first games that I put on my card this week.
Okay.
Give me Western Kentucky and the points here. And I'm with you. I think Indiana probably finds a way to win this. But last year, this was a 2-point game. And do we really think Indiana is substantially better than they were a year ago? Because I think Western Kentucky is better than they were a year ago. Indiana against Idaho last week was a mess. And I get that it was wet and there was flooding and all that kind of stuff. But it was also Idaho, and Idaho stinks. Indiana should not have beaten Illinois. Illinois should have won that game by 2 scores. Brett Bielema owes all of you gamblers a full written letter of apology for that game. But I think Western Kentucky is going to hang around. I don't need them to win. I need them to hang around. That passing game, they can score quickly. And if you're getting points and if you're looking to cover, that's what you want against an Indiana defense that I don't think is all that good. Give me the points here. I'll go with the Hilltoppers.
All right, time for second pick. Scott, who do you got?
So here, put it up on the screen. People are going to go, Homer, Homer. Here we are.
Oh, come on.
Okay, Scott, by the way, Scott has not picked Iowa the first 2 weeks of the year, which pretty much tells you I thought they weren't going to cover. Today, there's only one team probably in America that I would pick Iowa to beat by 23 points. Meet Nevada. They are horrendous. Iowa, their offense could not be worse. It's 131st. They are 70 yards behind the next worst team in college football, rushing the ball and passing the ball. But their defense is great. I expect Iowa will probably put up, 14 or 15 safeties in this game. Maybe a pick six, too, and 2 punt blocks for touchdowns. They are going to boat race Nevada. I'm looking at 42-9.
Okay, without a single touchdown being scored by the offense.
Either team.
Oh my, I've had enough of these two. I'm ready for a drink.
Me too.
You want to go to the bar?
Let's do it.
Okay, so coming up next, it's Scott's Long Shot, plus Hammer's Degenerate Special. You can only get them right here on All Indiana Bets. Welcome back to All Indiana Bets. We are at the bar, our favorite place. Thank you for this drink, Hammer.
You're welcome. I poured Danielle a beverage here during the commercial break.
This looks really strong, like there's not much tequila.
Well, I haven't got to yours yet, so we were kind of running out of time
too much
here.
Mountain Dew. Hold on.
Oh.
Now.
Oh, the Mountain
Lunazol
Dew.
tequila here. Look at this. Actual tequila being poured into
I'll
a
take
glass.
some more than that.
A little bit more than that? Okay.
Yeah, I want to see you top that, Hammer.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
It's the long shot.
Yes, it is.
Lunazol tequila. Thank you, guys. And here we go. Yes, you see them right there. America's team, the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
America's team.
The world's best underdog. The worst favorite. Look at that spread. I'm going to just give you an idea right now. Last year, do you remember this, Hammer? Nebraska almost beat Michigan, should have beat Wisconsin, should have beat Iowa. But what happened? Scott Frost happened at the fourth quarter. Those games should have been won all outright. They still covered those all. Today, Oklahoma, they barely were up on Kent State at halftime. Let's not over-exaggerate. There's some growing pains. The great offensive mind went to USC over there. Nebraska, it's a new day. Scott Frost is gone. The guy makes worse decisions than Lindsay Lohan. That's not the most updated reference.
What did Lindsay Lohan do to warrant this kind of shrapnel?
Basically everything after her first two movies. Take the Huskers and don't sprinkle. Dump it on the money line. And this is a big fat money line. Put 50 on the money line. Put 150 on the game.
Wow.
It's not my money. Do it.
Wow. Lindsay Lohan taking some shots today.
Lindsay Lohan. Okay, it's time for Hammer's Degenerate Special. Here we go.
Let's do it. We hit this bad boy last week. We are 2-1 with the Degenerate Special on the season. And let's turn our attention to the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana. They're going on the road to take on Rice. Louisiana's going to play two quarterbacks. Now, I know what you're saying. If you have two quarterbacks, you don't have any. Not necessarily true. The Florida Gators, remember, they used to have Chris Leak and this young no-name kid named Tim Tebow. It worked out pretty well for them. Now, I'm not saying these guys from Louisiana are that level, but both can play. And Louisiana's going to score. And what I love about this team is that they're pretty disciplined. They have not turned the ball over one single time this year. They're one of the least penalized teams in America. And as for Rice, their defense stinks. So I'm going to lay the 11 here. The Ragin' Cajuns, we caught a break. This was at 12 earlier in the week, and it's down to 11. I will take that every single time. You can't do a Degenerate Special without a good old-fashioned shot here.
Oh, I guess you are.
Let's go. Louisiana minus 11. That is your Degenerate Special.
Bringing on the shots. Time for another break, though, but stick around. The best is yet to come. Maybe more drinking out of the bottle. The boys will give you their best bets of the day, and it's brought to you by Evan Williams Bourbon.
Woo!
That's coming up next.
Woo!
You gonna do another one?
Cajun Rice.
The best bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
It is time for our best bets of the day. They are brought to you by Evan Williams Bourbon. Hammer, you are 3-0.
3-0. Is that good? Is unbeaten good? Again, I'm just a simple boy from the south side of Indianapolis, but is perfect okay for you people? Is that all right?
Let's really focus on the simple boy part. Go ahead, 3-0.
Yeah.
All right, so as many of you know, I'm a Tennessee Volunteers guy. I like the Volunteers. And sometimes you have to go against who you love. This is a bad spot for the Tennessee Volunteers. Not because they're going to lose the game, they're going to boat race Akron. But look at that team total, 56.5 total points. This is a total trap game for Tennessee. Some call it a trap, some call it a sandwich game. Last week, an amazing overtime win on the road at ranked Pittsburgh. Next week, the Florida Gators come in to Knoxville. It's sold out already. There's going to be a checkerboard thing going on in the stadium. So how hyped up are you going to be for Akron? You've got that going against you, and let's be honest. Once the Vols get up 42-0 or 48-6, which is totally going to happen, Tennessee doesn't want to get to 56.5. Those starters are going to be pulled out late in the game. You're going to see second string, third string guys going in because they don't want anybody banged up for the big game against the Gators next week. So this is too high of a team total for Tennessee. Take the under in this one.
Oh, I'm drinking. Scott, best bet? Sorry.
That must
Cheers.
be fun to go into a game knowing that you're 56 points to play with.
Right,
You
right.
know,
It's also how bad Akron is.
Yeah, so I look at this game here and you're like, Fresno State, you know, like USC just looks unbelievable. They have looked unbelievable on the scoreboard. They have scored 5 touchdowns this year on pick sixes. This is not the team yet defensively that you think they are. Last year, Fresno State, I believe, was 11-2. They played Oregon to a touchdown last year, the one that beat Ohio State, you remember? And they beat UCLA in the Coliseum. This is a great Fresno State team with a coach, Jeff Tedford, who had a lot of success at California beating USC. This is a great opportunity to buy high on the Fresno State team because USC is really over their skis right now. I like putting a little sprinkle on this one too, but take the money. This is the best bet. Scott's going to get back in the black on the college football show.
And 11.5 is such a weird number for sports bettors because really it might as well be 13 at that point, 11.5.
Okay, time now for a little segment we like to call Ballin' on a Budget. Hammer, take it away.
So we have been knocking on the door on this for a number of weeks here. Again, I've always said parlay bets are sucker bets. One bet alone is hard to win, let alone when you put 2, 3, or 4 of them together. But if you're down on your luck, you got rent due, you can't afford gas, you only got $5 to play with, and you're trying to figure out how can I make 50 bucks, this is how you can do it. And the last couple of weeks, we've been close. 3 out of 4 on every single week. This is the week that we punch through and we win this thing. So we're gonna start with Arizona State taking on Eastern Michigan. Here's a little inside info on Eastern Michigan. They stink. They're awful. Arizona State certainly isn't the second coming of the 1985 Chicago Bears, but anytime Eastern Michigan takes the field and it's less than 3 touchdowns, take whoever's on the other side. We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to go a little Major League Baseball here. The Mariners at the Angels. You've got a good pitching matchup here. You've got both aces going today. The Mariners, the Angels, Ohtani's on the mound. 8 is too high, so we're going under 7.5. Keeping it in Major League Baseball. The Brewers hosting the Yankees. They're getting 1.5 runs, and the Brewers ace, Woodruff, is on the mound today. Yankees offense has been struggling lately. Give me the Brewers with the runs and their ace on the mound. And how about a little boxing? I don't know if we've ever done boxing on the show before, but Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G tonight. I've got Alvarez in the decision, and it goes the distance. So all of that's got to go down, but if it does, $5 will turn into $52, and you can thank me tomorrow.
Coming up next, those who subscribe to his service know this man has been
There he is.
Oh, baby.
over the last few weeks.
There he is.
Professional handicapper Alan Cashman, aka the Cashman.
I wonder who he's
Join us
rooting for
next
today.
to give you a pair of college football winners.
I am not the wise guy. I haven't been a winner enough on this show, but that is the face of America's finest prognosticator. There he is. What's your name again? Alan Cashman. Tell me. Oh, and you're wearing an IU hat, and I heard that you have a pick on that game. Why don't you tell us? I think you've already given it away. Hit us, Alan.
Actually, I'm going to turn heel, as they say in professional wrestling,
Ooh.
Scott. We're going Western
I never
Kentucky
knew it was
+7.
there.
Western Kentucky +7. Connor Bazelak, he's completing just 54% of his passes in the first 2 games for IU. I think Western Kentucky's defense has improved. They're +7 in turnovers so far this year. They've got Austin Reed at quarterback. He won the Division II national championship in Western Florida. He's no slouch. IU 2-10 against the spread, their last 12 overall. I was 11-4-1 against the spread, picking dogs on the show last year. We're going to go Western Kentucky +7.
I love the wolf on that one, and let me say, I've never been able to tell if Alan was 25 years old or 60. Now I'm thinking he's closer to 25. What is happening? What's the next pick? I can't wait to. Are you going to take your shirt off? What's happening?
No, we're not going to go that far, but I may be banished from Indiana after this one. I'm going to take Syracuse on the money line today against Purdue. Two pretty good quarterbacks, Aiden O'Connell, Eric Schrader for Syracuse. Schrader's complete nearly 80% of his passes over the first two games. Threat to run as well, and I really like halfback Don Tucker for Syracuse. I think he might be the difference here. Purdue, you have to prove they can run the ball consistently, and this dome in Syracuse gets pretty loud. Louisville commented on how hard it was to get plays in. This is a predominantly passing team for Purdue. I thought Syracuse would be improved to start the year. I'm going to take them today on the money line to beat Purdue.
So, let me tell you, Hammer's in the offside here, and I just wanted to say, this is amazing. You are going against both schools in your state. You don't care because you're about money. You're about picking baseball and NFL and college. Tell us how we find out to get all the picks from the Cashman.
Go to thecashmanwins.com. We have a special offer, 1 year, $52. If you join by kickoff on Sunday, if the Colts cover the kickoff spread at kickoff, listed at kickoff time, I'm going to upgrade your 1 year to a 2-year subscription at no charge.
Man.
Cashmanwins.com.
This guy is everything. He's got hair. He has, it's unbelievable what you've done today. I am so excited.
Wow.
And a bonus extra year if the Colts. You knew that the Colts weren't going to probably do that, so that's.
And it's still Deer Creek to the Cashman too. And I think that's important. It's still Deer Creek to him too.
Stick around, more to come still. These guys each have one more pick, plus I have a pick. The Mick pick is coming back next.
Betting lines for all Indiana bets are presented for the people by Caesar Sportsbook.
All right, welcome back to All Indiana Bets. It's already time for our final picks. Scott, take it away.
So I've told Danielle, since she is newer to the show, that many of my picks are very strategic, but I love the story. And this is a story.
Start your clocks.
2.5 hours north of Fayetteville lies Springfield, where Missouri State is. There was a coach there named Bobby Petrino. Bobby was the coach of Arkansas. He had a little problem. He could coach some football, but he liked to motorcycle it up with the volleyball player on the back, and then he had an accident, and he lost his job with the Razorbacks. And he's been stumbling and bumbling ever since, kind of like me in that last segment. I tell you today, I see Bobby Petrino pulling up like Rob Halford and Judas Priest on that motorcycle, rubbing it up. He's got 2 volleyball ladies in the back, and he is like, I am covering that 26.5. Does Arkansas care? They don't care. They got Texas A&M on the other side. This is probably a 3-touchdown game. This is the game for Petrino to get back everything that he lost for one day. Take Missouri State.
Oh my gosh, I love these stories.
I didn't think anything could be better than the story with the monkey and the stripper pole, but then you bring up Bobby Petrino being a modern day Fonz, pulling up with chicks on the cycle, and you had me. You had me 100%.
Okay, Hammer, time to follow that one up now. What's your final pick?
LSU. Listen, Brian Kelly, a lot of pressure coming down. You got the media getting snarky with you. You got fans getting snarky with you. But what's kind of been forgotten ever since that awful opening game against Florida State is that LSU's offense has kind of turned a corner. The final 2 drives against Florida State, touchdowns for LSU. Last week they played a cupcake, but they scored a touchdown on basically every drive. Now, the other side of this game is Mike Leach. We know what Mike Leach wants to do. He wants to put up as many points as possible. Well, Brian Kelly probably feels the same pressure. You're trying to win over alumni donors. You're trying to win over a fan base who probably still isn't sold on you. What better way to do that than put up a big number at home, under the lights, down in the Bayou? This is an over for me. Over 53. Two coaches that desperately want to get that offense rolling, and if either one of them get the chance to run up the score, they totally will. We're going to ride the lightning, and we're going over 53.
All right, and it's time for the McPick. Time for me to choose. I'm going to the Plains with Auburn versus Penn State, and I am picking Auburn plus 2.5. You may be asking, Danielle, have you seen Auburn? Yes, I have. They don't look good. Do you know what's going on with their offense? No, I can't explain it. But I do know a couple tidbits that I figured out. Did you know James Franklin has never played at Jordan-Hare Stadium his whole time, not even at Vandy. And his road record is 19-18, I think, which is just a little over 500. Also, I know those fans are ready because this is the revenge game waiting to happen from last year. And I pulled out a little statistics, guys. Since 1999, Auburn is 49-4 at home against a non-conference FBS team. And if that FBS team has had at least one win, they are 35-1. That's why I feel confident that I'm going to take Auburn plus 2.5.
And crazy things happen at Auburn in these
do.
non-conference games. Crazy things happen. I like that one.
Picking against an SEC team at home is just crazy.
Danielle, you have to be Cashman's dream woman. All those stats that you were laying out, man.
Yes.
He was like, oh, amazing.
We'll do that, but then I'm going to head back to the bar, and then these guys are going to stay here and recap those picks. To those who may have missed the plus, producer Peter will join them for a pair of his picks. That's all next on All Indiana Bets.
Oh, yes. Betting lines for All Indiana Bets are presented by the people. I'm part of the people. Caesar Sportsbook. It's time for me to recap some winners. That's what I'm doing today. UTSA going against Texas. That seems like a small line. That UTSA is a very good team. They're going to cover that 12.5. Iowa minus 23. Sure, they have no offense, but they found the team that they can score against. Nevada, horrendous team. Fade them the whole year. Nebraska plus 11. Did I hear that they got rid of their coach? The guy that's been sabotaging them for 5 years? Yes, take the Huskers. Fresno State, that's the best bet for me. Plus 11.5. Hit that one in hard. Missouri State, Bobby Petrino. Rum, 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 rum. Coming in. I got volleyball, ladies. Let's go. Puffing it up. It's going to be a march to 24. Take Missouri State.
Your homework for tonight after this show, research the wife of Texas and research Bobby Petrino motorcycle. Report back to us next week.
You're welcome.
All right, these are my picks here. I am in on SMU getting points at Maryland. I think the wrong team is favored here. I got a better quarterback. I'm getting points. Western Kentucky getting a touchdown against the Hoosiers. Should the Hoosiers be a touchdown favorite against anybody after what we've seen offensively from these guys? Degenerate special. I love the Ragin' Cajuns in this spot. They're going to come at you with an air raid. They got a couple good quarterbacks. They're disciplined. Lay the 11 at Rice. My best bet is catching Tennessee in a sandwich situation here, kind of a trap game. Big game last weekend, big game next weekend. Under 56.5 total points for the Volunteers here today. And over 53. We're going down to the Bayou, Mississippi State and LSU, two coaches that need to put up points. One, because it's their whole MO. The other, to kind of appease the fan base. So those are my picks right here. And now, because we're contractually obligated, we go to our producer, Peter, who is standing by in the studio. Producer Pete, give us winners.
Well,
anything less is unacceptable.
You conveniently forgot that I'm 5-1 across both shows to start this season.
Okay, congratulations.
So we're rolling here. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. It sounded very sincere with that compliment there. This Listen, you guys know I love my unders. I'm not proud about this one.
It actually, your whole life there.
It's pretty gross. I don't want to even say it out loud. Lindsay, just throw it on the screen. New Mexico State, their team total today against Wisconsin is set at 3.5, and I'm here to tell you, New Mexico State is not scoring today, let alone a touchdown or more than one field goal. This is the worst offense in all of America. They played Minnesota a couple weeks back, a Big Ten team that is built very similarly to Wisconsin. And guess what? They didn't score. I don't even think they crossed midfield. These were their numbers for their quarterbacks in that game. The one kid went 2 for 7, 43 yards and a pick, and the other kid 2 for 5, 10 yards. QBR combined was 23 in that game. Wisconsin's not going to let you run the football. They're angry after last week's loss to Washington State. New Mexico State under 3.5. Second game we got under 53, Colorado State and Washington State. Colorado State, another terrible offense. They're not going to provide much in terms of getting to the over here. And Washington State has been less than impressive offensively. They only scored 24 against Idaho a couple weeks back, so we'll go under in that game. And just because we got some time, and just because I'm rolling, I'm going to throw a bonus money line parlay on the screen right now. You see those 4 teams? Bet them to win. The odds are plus 104, so $10 to win like 1044. And I think I'm going to go 3-0 this week. We're going to get to 8-1 on the season heading into tomorrow's Sunday night football.
I love that kind of degenerate pick of under 3.5 with New Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of pick that's in my wheelhouse right there.
If I'm going to say, my neighbors, if you hear me screaming at around 5 o'clock, don't let him in the end zone. That's what I'll be referring to.
If he covers these, his head will not fit in that screen.
It doesn't almost already.
It barely does.
It doesn't almost already.
I got my fingers crossed for you, Peter.
All right, coming up next, he is perhaps the most dominant horse in racing right now, and he's making a return to Indiana. We've got all the details on a big weekend coming up at Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson.
Love that place.
We give you boxing, we give you football, we give you horse racing and baseball. This is how we get down right here at All Indiana Bet.
George Mallet here at Harris Hoosier Park for All Indiana Bets. I'm joined by Emily Gaskin. We've got a big night, a big weekend coming up starting September 23rd.
We do. So we had our Dan Patch Stakes, which is our signature event. We come back with our Caesars Trotting Classic, and this is even bigger because we've got not only one big race, we've got a lot of big races. So it's going to be an action-packed night from start to finish. We're really excited about it.
And part of that action is going to be the great, and I think even saying great is an understatement. Bulldog Hanover is going to be here. He's been here before. He now holds the world record in the mile. He is nothing short of a juggernaut.
Yeah, exactly. He is the best of the best. He's the best horse in the world, the best harness horse in the world, and we have the opportunity to see him right here at Hoosier Park. It's, you know, it's kind of like catching lightning in a bottle, seeing this horse race at Hoosier Park. And so you want to see greatness, you want to see an athlete in action, Hoosier Park will be the place to be. And like I said, he's kind of taken the harness racing world by storm, and it's really something that we get to see him live in action here at Hoosier Park, and he's undefeated in racing action at Hoosier Park.
Now, those of us who call ourselves fans of All Indiana Bets also call ourselves degenerates because we like to play. We like to play the games. We like to bet on the ponies. When you talk about Bulldog Hanover, we're not going to make any money putting a straight win bet on him. What kind of options do I have?
Yeah, so exactly. He's going to be a serious favorite, so not a lot of opportunity to cash as far as win bets. But it is a great opportunity to find a couple horses that you like to play underneath with him and, you know, hope to catch some prices in the exotic. So like an exacta. And, you know, hey, crazy things happen. You do an exacta box and you catch a price. Something happens where a horse slips up the inside and, you know, catches him by a nose. You could really make some money. But as far as when you have a heavy favorite like this, I think you find a horse that you like or maybe a driver that you like, it's going to offer a price, and you pair that with Bulldog Hanover and hope for the best.
Now, one of the things, some of us come to the track, and I'm not very experienced at betting on the pacers and the trotters. There are people here who will give me a little bit of guidance in terms of setting up a boxed superfecta, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, we offer a free program available online, so you can go onto the Harris Hoosier Park website and it'll download a program for you so you can know what horse is in every race and kind of find those stats that you may be looking for. If you don't want to find stats, there are plenty of people available at the track. Our mutual tellers are great at assisting folks that, may have some questions, and I'm bouncing around each and every night. We all give out our picks. You pick up a program, we've got our expert picks in there, and then we've got our on-track handicappers as well, so there are plenty of options for you to find some picks.
That is the story here at Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson. I'm George Mallet reporting for All Indiana Bets.
That is not the story. No, listen.
No. What was that horse doing?
I don't know. He must have sugar cubes in his pocket.
Oh my goodness.
That is like a millennial horse, if you know what I'm saying.
That's how Scott got his first comedy job.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Okay, remember, join us all 3 tomorrow. Until then, enjoy college football.
Good luck, everybody.